Sometimes you have a project that you just don't want to have to put a button and a buttonhole in. It might be that you physically can't put the button or the buttonhole into place because of the construction of it, or you just think it's going to look better if there's not a buttonhole there. And for those occasions when you need to put a fastening on where you don't want to have to do that, there's either poppers or quite commonly now referred to as snaps. Now these can either be sewn in, or there is a version that snaps in, and they are super simple and well worth giving a try. So I will show you how they work. Poppers and snaps. These are what I would describe as poppers. These are referred to as snaps. They basically are the exact same thing and do the exact same job. They snap together. I have no idea why they've been called a different name, but they do what they do and they are what they are. Now these little metal ones are a sew-in variety, so obviously you can see these holes around the edges where you would stitch them on. The advantage of these over a snap is that if you wanted a truly invisible, totally concealed fastening, say on the front of a jacket where you didn't want to be able to see anything from the outside, these are going to do a really great job for it. The downside of them is that they are quite time consuming, and when they get smaller they can be quite fiddly to do, but they're really great and really simple to sew on. They're sewn on very similarly to a button in that you just fasten down each of these 4 bits onto whatever fabric it is you're using. But what I wanted to discuss today is the snaps, because a lot of people haven't come across them before or haven't used them if they've seen them. And they do the same job of a popper in that you have one half here and one half here, and they snap together. I won't do it because when they're not on fabric they can be quite challenging to separate, but that's what you've got. You've got the 2 different sides and they pop together. Now these pointy bits are what attaches them to the fabric, and it is so simple. The only extra tool that you will require for it is a pair of these. Now I find these to be a really useful tool in my workshop. They attach so many different things, whether I'm attaching like a proper jeans button or rivets or eyelets or whatever it may be that I want to attach. And what you get with these is that you purchase the additional attachments that then go with whatever fitting it is you're trying to use. Some of the fittings come with them if it's particularly niche. With the snaps, because you can get so many different colours, you will need to get these as an additional bit. And as you can see, all that happens is that I slot them into these sections here. So with this in place, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my fabric and I'm going to push this spike through the fabric. So that's on the outside. And then I'm going to place half on here. This white section sits with this bit inside. And then this, like I refer to it as like a jelly piece, then clamps over the top like so. And then all you have to do is squeeze. It's not going to take much. I like to put quite a bit of force behind it just to make sure it's fully snapped on. And then what you should be able to see is this spike bit has flattened so that this is now fully attached. And that's it. That's as complex as it gets in terms of attaching them. So if I attach the other half, I can show you them together. So then I need to make sure I have the opposite piece. So once again, I'm going to place that into the white section. The jelly bit goes over the top. A squeeze and release. And those are my 2 halves, which will now snap together, and it's fastened. So these come in packs like this, different colours. I've got a series of mint green, would you call it, here. I have a box that I keep in my studio with lots of different colours so that I have them, because as you can see, the backs are visible from the outside. So whatever you're doing, you'd want to colour match it. But as fastenings go, I find them so quick and so simple to do. And I use them on all different types of fabric. I would always make sure that I'm using them on at least 2 layers. It makes them much more stable, because obviously there's quite a lot of force coming through it, but that really is no different to buttons and buttonholes. I would always suggest that you have more than 1 layer for both of those as well. Now, as well as coming in lots of different colours in this plastic variety, you can also get snaps in metal variety with a metal back. You can get specific jersey ones as well that are a metal ring that helps stabilise the fabric that little bit more if you're struggling with a particularly unstable jersey. But generally speaking, these are the ones I have a lot of in my studio. I have other bits and pieces, but I have to say I use these more than I use anything else, purely because I really like the little pop of colour that they bring to a project. But yeah, definitely well worth investigating if you've never joined the world of snaps.